Good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. It is afternoon for me. So, why is that so funny? Anyways, I started this channel about a few years ago, 2017. My very first video, now deleted, I made as a complete joke. Quite literally, unscripted, just me doing random things on the camera. But let's be honest, every single video, until you know what you're doing, is you just doing random things on the camera. Yeah, that's everyone, right? But in the time span between then and now, I'm so unfocused, so just... It's been so long since I've been in front of the camera. So freaking long. But anyways, so within that time span that I've been away from the camera, I've met a few people, done a few things. Hold on. No. That's within the time span that I was in front of the camera. When I wasn't in front of the camera, I actually haven't done shit but lay in my bed and watch YouTube. But I have been doing a lot of writing. I'm a writer. I'm a drawer. I have been... you can see this mess. Yes. Camera's still on. God damn. I'm a drawer. Yeah. I don't know. But I have started working on a comic series for the actual channel. I believe I left them up. Yeah, I left them up. And then I started making another comic series based off a YouTube video I was actually planning on making. I don't know if it's either part of the deleted videos that I took off the channel, or I never put it on the channel. Either way, I don't have it because I lost the SD card that everything was on. Which is really upsetting because I had a few music videos I didn't put on YouTube that were really good. More personal than, which is the reason I didn't put them on YouTube. But still, why does this matter? I have no clue. I just wanted to get back in front of the camera, and that's why it matters, because I wanted to get back in front of the camera, get back on YouTube, despite the fact that YouTube doesn't care about me. I'm sorry, where was I? I'm so distracted. But yeah, I've been working a lot of shit. Fuck off. And I've been working on a comic. I don't know if that's going to be the name, but it has 5 chapters so far. I'm currently working on the 6th. Can't tell because there's... But it's buried in there somewhere. So, yeah. I'm just stretching and stretching and stretching myself, and it's just, I want to do something. Be something. I keep yelling at my mom. It's just like, Why am I always just here? Why can't I just get a job? I've never really been good in school. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm like one of the smartest kids in class. I mean, when I actually try, I've gotten nothing but straight A's. But it's just like, why bother? There's just no point. It's just like, what's the point in being talented if you're not motivated? It's just like, seriously, it's just... And that's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to be in front of the camera, because it's just like, I'm in front of the camera, so what does it mean? What does it matter? You know, also, it's hard for me to speak. Ah. The hell? Ah. Food particles. I hate when they get between teeth. That's what toothpicks. But yeah. One thing I learned, I keep going off camera, don't I? It's in a real uncomfortable position. Anyways, so one thing I did learn since taking a break from YouTube. I say break since I'm posting this, but I don't know. I just... What was that? So, one thing I learned is that I actually learned it at Comic-Con, and it's that I shouldn't be so paranoid. I went to view this, I forget what panel it was, but it was some sort of comic panel that I was with a friend, and while I was sitting there, they were talking about their stuff, how they became comic book artists or authors or whatever, and it came to the point of asking questions, and finally, I did something that, at the moment, that up until I did it, just terrified the hell out of me. I'm sitting here like, how am I gonna ask this? What are they gonna say? Is it all right to ask that? Is it gonna make people look at me like, are you a dumb? It's just like paranoid and what other word? There's another word, better word. Anxiety. There it is. It made me anxious, and then the moment I said it, it was almost like an out-of-body experience. Like, I said it, but that wasn't me who said it. Oh, this is just so hard, because like right here is the camera, but I'm looking at this, and you can... I don't like colored pencils, but I keep getting them. It's just, why do you keep buying me colored pencils? I don't use them. Like, seriously. Some of my best works are without colored pencils. Which, actually, I've shown you a few pictures. That's actually the question that I had on for the panel. It was straight up, is there a reason to... I can't remember the exact wording I used, but basically it's just, is there a reason to worry about people stealing your stuff online? And short answer, no. There isn't. Long answer, bit of a complicated stuff, because if people like your stuff, they're going to be like, mine. But ultimately, when it gets down to complications, it was basically just like, if people want to know who the real artist is, they're going to do some research, and if the research they do is good enough, it's eventually going to track back to you. Because you're the one that put it out there. Therefore, your stuff will always be traced back to you. Internet. Yay. Of course, it gets into more complicated stuff when you start introducing, like, the stories they come from, which is just like, oh, that's a good idea, I'm gonna steal it. So, no, you will not. You will not steal my stories. So I mentioned that I'm a writer, and I have been spent the last, making sure my room isn't too dirty, I've spent the last 6 I recently had an what is it, existential or identity? I think it's more of an existential crisis. Just like, I have spent 7 long years developing and just writing and writing and writing, and here's a good example. This one. And half of the shit's empty! Half of it's empty! Well, actually, no. I looked through all of the notebooks. I have 30 notebooks. Only 3 of them have anything written in them, and the 3 of them that have things written in them are just vague scribbles, ideas, and just random stuff. Like, where's my sketchbook? Oh, there it is. I'll be right back. This is the one, right? Yeah. And then there's when I do stuff like this, where I have awesome, cool designs, and it's just like, why did I just randomly decide to make an entire fictional game? I bought, actually, depressing story. Not really depressing, actually. More depressing on my part. Because of what it meant, but a friend of mine, she really... So, my phone decided, yeah, you're not telling that story. It just straight up first, it decided to stop the video. Then 5 minutes later, a full 5 minutes later, as I'm trying to figure out why my phone doesn't have enough space when it's brand new, and then 5 minutes later, my phone just like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm at 32%, no, bye. Dead. Just dead. Turn it back on, then there's complications because it's doing a whole bunch of system stuff, and it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then I finally get back on, and my phone's just like, oh yeah, by the way, you know how I was at 32%? Yeah, no, I'm only at 2% now. And it's just, oh my god, this is just my day. And, then I got back on, and I realized, and I watched the video, and I'm just like, it's coming up to 13 minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to tell the story because my editing software, the last time I checked, it struggles to be able to do anything at a reasonable time if it's anywhere above 7 minutes. Which is the reason why my original videos never went above 10. And it was hard to make 10-minute videos. But here we are, saying goodbye. So, toodaloo.